You've got some of the most visceral, tangible stories.
Valentin Popescu is a leader at Motiv Peru, a nonprofit using Bitcoin to help rural communities in Peru build stronger, more independent lives.
Valentin is just one person that used Bitcoin for good, but behind me are a lot of leaders. In each community, the key is to find the right leaders that already serve and empower them. When you empower them, you educate them.
Can you tell just a little bit of the Motiv story and how you got involved?
Peru, one of the countries that was very seriously hit by COVID. People died everywhere. I didn't have any resources. And someone called me and said, look, I know someone that can help you, but they don't have euro, dollars, they have Bitcoin. And in the morning, I start to call people that have stores and tell them about Bitcoin, and it's happening.
What is Motiv now today where you combine community with Bitcoin?
In the beginning, we was using Bitcoin to buy supplies. But the idea was, why you don't educate? So we create a system that the people can use Bitcoin every single day to pay for education, to pay for supplies.
You empower people. Can you describe a little bit of like what it actually means for the people you're serving?
As I said,
I think it's an ironic thing that you and I are talking here. You and I have met in places like El Salvador, Colombia, and we're sitting at a conference where it's like, let's call it the 1%. And I think the reason you and I got involved in Bitcoin is something like deeper and more special, right? And so, Bella, your story kind of is the reason why I started coming back to these conferences after many years of honestly feeling like, hey, number go up and Ferraris aren't really the fault. You to me represent a little bit of like what people in the actual field doing the real work, doing the real change in society was meant to do. So first, just thank you. It's really cool, man. It's really special. For those who haven't had the chance to kind of come alongside you like we have, can you tell just a little bit of like the Motiv story and how you got involved in kind of the crazy circular economy down in Peru?
First of all, thank you, Jeremy, for this time and sharing. I'm honored to meet you guys. I know that you are in technology, but behind the technology, you see, I see the human in your eyes, the human look, and thinking that Bitcoin can be a great tool for the people, which it's not very common to find these days today. So thank you for that. We start being on the field. People think, they tell me, oh yeah, you found Bitcoin and now you help people. I'm like, no, I wasn't watching Netflix. And then I discovered Bitcoin. I said, let's give to the poor. As we was involved in a social project, but pandemic came in Peru, one of the countries that was very seriously hit by COVID. People died everywhere. So I was so overwhelmed. I didn't have any resources. And I started to call all of my friends and I said, please help me. I have thousands of families that they don't know what to eat today because they lost jobs. And someone called me and said, look, I know someone that can help you, but they don't have euro, dollars, gold. They have Bitcoin. I'm like, look, I don't have time for trading. I don't have time for scams. People are dying around me. Yeah. You don't understand. Like he said, no, this is serious. I'm not joking. And I'm like, please make something that maybe we can, switch the Bitcoin to cash or something to buy. No, you have to find a place that accepts Bitcoin in Lima, and that's it. You buy the supplies, and I'm like, that's it, like simple. Yes, okay. Lima, 11 million person capital. I opened the laptop. I said store that accepts Bitcoin in Lima, Peru. And I think my enter was, I did so many times that I thought that I will broke the laptop because I thought that my laptop had something. So I went to my wife. I think my laptop has something. Honey, it's the same internet. Sit down. Honey, there is no one except Bitcoin.
And the entire country of Peru.
The entire country of Peru. It's in Lima, 11 million person. I mean, come on, what the heck? I mean, something, or it's a lie. I mean, so I called this person. I said, look, there is nothing. He said, look, I give you 24 hours. Make this thing happen. My wife looked at me like, you have to make it happen, Valley. I have to help people. So I make phone calls and I find a store that says we're in crypto, accept I drove there because I had the license to skip the avoid the COVID. I was alone on the street. I get there and the guy looked at me like, what do you need for buy? I said, I need basic supplies. Wow, I have some dollars, satoshis, and I want to spend. He said, okay, what do you need? I said, I need rice, oil. He said, look, my store sell beer, vodka, whiskey. We have for a party basic supplies, not for basic supplies to live. So I'm sorry I cannot help you. I said, call your supplier. He called the supplier and the supplier told me, no, I don't want to bring food for you. So it was the first time in my life when in my right hand I had value to buy things and I couldn't buy a bottle of water. I was so frustrated. And walking home, I called my dad, called my wife, and he said, my dad is a math teacher. He said, it's simple, Valet. If what you have to teach. But I don't know about Bitcoins. You have to learn. In the middle of pandemic, learn about Bitcoin. Who's going to teach me? Okay, you have to be on the internet. So I had a long night, and in the morning, I start to call people that have stores and tell them about Bitcoin, and it's happening. And then we realized that, okay, our focus are the people. So we bought also, besides the food, shoes for the children in the Andes. Yeah. So I remember the first person that he said...
Wait, I want to pause here. Yeah. So you were running, an existing grassroots community effort, and that was the entry point. So maybe describe what the community effort was that you're talking about people in the Andes, you're talking about people during COVID that needed basic supplies. What was your state and your interaction with the community before Bitcoin?
So I'm a director of non-profit organization called Su Refugio, his refuge, where we basically rescue from human trafficking or children that are malnutrition. And we kind of had contacts in different parts of the country. We was receiving food in containers, yes, and distributing all over the country. And then I was receiving playgrounds, and that's how I met someone that knows someone in Bitcoin. It was a guy who came and helped me to build a playground in the middle of the Andes. Yeah. And that's the story of, the name of Jonathan, the little kid that impacted me. And then we decide to buy shoes for the kids. So that's the story of happy steps or life-saving steps to start in the beginning. And the idea was to create a network of places where we can distribute the resources. Yes. I can have my NGO and work in just one place. To be specific, like you guys, American, are very specific. In Latin America, my nickname is Mr. Plan B. Because if you don't have a plan B in Latin America, you can have trouble. Or plan A, option B, whatever you want to call. So the idea is I like to work in network. Yeah. It's not like I have my supplies and I give to my people. My supplies, no, come from God. Yes. Everything we have come from God and are not my people, are Peruvians. Yeah. So I'm Romanian and I live in Peru 17 years. So we love to work in partnership with others. That's why we have different places, and was easy to then to come with the Bitcoin because we already had a work behind of that. Right. It's not like, hi, my name is Valentin, you need Bitcoin. Right. No.
So you've been in there 17 years in the community, working in nonprofits to basically create basic supplies.
Yes.
Then the pandemic hits, all of a sudden you've got a donation in Bitcoin, you start having to figure out basically how do you use it. Now fast forward to now. Motiv is one of the incredible stories of the circular economy. So you and I met in El Salvador, which was probably the first circular economy.
Yes.
But Motiv, I think, is one of the most incredible, I think, stories that have evolved from there. So what is Motiv now today, where you've combined, a lot of your traditional enablement of the community with Bitcoin to catalyze something maybe bigger than that?
El Salvador inspired us in many ways. But when I went there, I realized, wow, it's paradise. Waves, very nice waves, surfers, everyone was happy. I'm like, how can I do copy paste to that? I mean, my community, the communities that I work with, don't have waves. They don't have surfers. How the heck I will start? It would be like a challenge. Or I will choose just one particular place and I will stay there and I forget the others. Was kind of a very a battle inside of me. But I realized that I have to write the book of each place. It's not like copy paste. Each place has a story.
Yeah.
So each place has a story, but don't have to depend in Valentin. Valentin is just one person that use Bitcoin for good, but behind me are a lot of leaders.
Yeah.
In each community, the key is to find the right leaders that already serve and empower them. When you empower them, you educate them. So in the beginning, we was using Bitcoin to buy supplies.
Yes.
That was the beginning. And I thought that's it. Thank you, sir. But the idea was like, okay, you give things, why you don't educate? Educate. But I was educating myself, okay, looking for tools to educate others. So that happened that we create a system that the people can use Bitcoin every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, to pay for education, to pay for supplies, so they can earn. So it's education, equip. Equip means you have to stay there. If you think that you educate and give a diploma to someone and that's it, that's the end of the beginning. This is not the end of the story. You have to equip them and then empower. Like, you can go and spread the word, evangelize with Bitcoin.
So, you got some of the most visceral, tangible stories. You empower people, but that empowerment means life change. Everything from human trafficking to women who have been battered and don't have access to savings. Can you describe a little bit of what it actually means for the people you're serving?
As I said, when we get to a place, we try to understand the needs. And the people will open the heart. But at the beginning, they ask for tools, for things, gadgets. They don't talk about what happened inside. And then when you go deeper, because when we work, we have 3 columns: physically, academically, and emotional and spiritual. So all 3 came together because you can educate, you can empower them, but if you don't care about the emotions, people are broke inside.
Yes.
And believe me, and with all the respect, Bitcoin, it's a great tool, but it doesn't teach you how to forget.
Yes.
And I think being there with them and hug them, having a psychologist do this, it's equipping, not just with the technology and the economic, financially, but also healing emotion. And we have so many stories. One of the stories is my assistant, the guy who's next to me, his name is Franco, orphan guy from a neighbor like Bronx. I mean, no opportunities. In Peru, Ventanilla. He had to be a gang member. He was working in an airport, carrying the luggages, and I said, Franco, come and be pescador de hombres, fisherman.
Yes.
He looked at me like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
I know you don't understand, but step by step. And now he's leading the whole work, actually. It's he's my partner, actually. I say assistant because but it's partnering.
Yeah.
And with him, we looking for those stories that to rescue, but also to empower.
Right.
In every place we have women that was abused and also kids, unfortunately. And we try to make them have skills so can empower others. The story how we really start the motive, because motive is a reason.
Yeah.
Motive, una razón, is in the middle of the Andes before motive, before Bitcoin, planting a playground. I had altitude, I couldn't breathe. I had my team there, was just one guy, so two guys, planting a playground, very, very difficult, to dig holes in the rocks, and I couldn't breathe. I stayed down, and the kid came to me, and I was eat a cereal bar, drinking a Coke, trying to breathe, and he was looking at me like this, and okay, a kid look at you when you eat something. Of course, I asked him if you starvest, though, if you're hungry, and he said, I don't understand. He didn't understand my Spanish because they speak another language, which is Quechua, and someone came and said the kid is hungry. Oh, you know him? Yes, he's the orphan from the little town. Oh, the orphan from the little village. I mean, the remote village in the middle of nowhere. We was planting a playground for the school. Oh, like the orphan in the middle of nowhere. I saw that he was alone. The other kids was playing with the parts of the playground. I said, okay, I'll break my number one rule. I never touch kids. I never care kids because, I have to take care about things. But I would say I broke the rule, and I said, Jonathan, give me your hand. I want to see your house. I want to see where you live. So I put him on my shoulder. I give him the Coke and the cereal bar, and I said, let's walk. In that moment, the 30 kids stopped like zombies and look at me, and they come around, and everyone was clapping. Yeah, what happening is Jonathan conquered the American. I'm not American, I'm from East of Europe, but they call me the gringo.
What?
So yes, they conquered the gringo American, and I'm like, okay, you're the VIP, Jonathan. And he started to smile like this. He didn't know how to smile. And we start to walk. I start to walk, I have him on my shoulder, and he started to move, and I had a back problem. And I said, Jonathan, stop, because I cannot move. He was trying to give from the cereal bar, he had some bite to others. And that broke my heart because it's like, this guy doesn't have anything like the other. He's gonna have mother, father, food. He's the VIP. But he's sharing. In what moment when it's a VIP, when you are up, sometimes we forget from where we start. He had the whole right to eat by himself.
Right.
But he decided, I said, God will use this kid for a purpose. I didn't know. We went to his house, it was a cave.
Yeah.
We saw he didn't have clothes. We buy clothes for him. And I said, we have to come back because the other kids become jealous, of course, and give shoes for everybody. And this is how we start.
Starts with 2 fishes and 2 loaves, right? So incredible. Valiant, like you and I, literally, there's stories all day long. I know your stories. They are what sustains me in worlds like this is where the real work's happening. So honestly, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for partnering, and thank you for having this heart, and looking for opportunities to serve.
So if people want to hear about Motiv more, where do they go?
We are in Twitter. We started 2 years ago. We was kind of hiding, Motiv Peru. We are in Instagram also. So every questions, we are very welcoming. Those who want to come to travel, in September we have a Bitcoin Cup in Peru, widest wave in the world in Chicama. And those who want to come to visit Machu Picchu, there is you can ride, and we can send you directly to those travel agencies that accepts Bitcoin.
I love it. Well, follow Motiv, follow Vale. He's got so many stories. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.